Welcome to the Evo India News of the Week. Now, as you can see, I'm in the Evo India studio while my colleagues are out traveling. Anand, he's out bungee jumping in Goa. We got a cool story coming up with the Renault Triber very soon on the Evo India channels. And Atish, he's at the Formula E race in Indonesia. So it falls upon me to host this week's edition of News of the Week. Now, there are a few news pieces. There is the Range Rover Sport SV that has been unveiled. The McLaren Artura has been launched in India. The Z4 Roadster, quite a few of them. But I don't think all that is as important as two of the spy images that we have seen. The first that I want to talk about is the five-door Mahindra Thar. This is a toppish shot that we've seen, and it has got a sunroof. So Indians who want sunroofs and everything, rejoice. The Thar is going to get a sunroof. To me, that honestly doesn't matter. But what I actually want to talk about is what we can expect to see in the five-door Mahindra Thar and also about the Jimny. Now, obviously, you would have seen the review of the Jimny on YouTube, on our social media channels. We will have it in the next issue of Evo India. And also, it is there on evoindia.com. We absolutely love it. What do I think about the Jimny? I think it is cute, it is lovable, the interiors are very nice, the ride comfort is insanely good for a body-on-frame vehicle. The off-roading ability is also good despite it running skinny road-biased tires. The only area that I found lacking, in fact, two areas that I found lacking, the 4-speed automatic gearbox is too archaic, the 5-speed manual is not a slick manual gearbox, and it lacks power. In fact, if you're going uphill, you're going to struggle to overtake anything. Even slow-moving vehicles, you're going to struggle because that gearbox with 4 speeds and that much power, it's not really going to go that fast. But apart from that, I think it is spot on and it is definitely going to grow that segment. Is it going to pose a serious rival to the Mahindra Thar? Of course. Hell yeah. Now, the Thar is very different in terms of the size. It is like half a size bigger than the Jimny. The Jimny is so small that gaps that the rickshaw would fit in, the Jimny will also fit in. It's a proper 4-seater. The Thar is also a 4-seater, but it is much bigger, more bulky, it is more imposing. So those that want that Tushan in their 4x4s will still prefer the Thar. Also, the engines on the Thar, they are bigger engines. The 2-liter turbo petrol engine, it is considerably faster than the Jimny. The diesel, I think it is excellent. More power, more torque. The off-road ability of the Thar also, it is tried, tested, proven. So there's no question about it. So the Jimny will pose a serious rival to the Mahindra Thar. And that's why we all know that the Mahindra Thar is under development and it will be out very soon. What will we see in that 5-door Thar? Okay, this is not really a news segment, but this is my opinion on what we'll see on the Thar. I think all the stuff that we know and we love about the Scorpio N, that will filter down into the Thar. The regular platform on the Thar is obviously shared with the Scorpio, with the Bolero. It's that same platform that obviously has been modified and improved upon. So all the advancements that we've seen in the Scorpio N will filter down into the Thar. The shortcomings on the Thar. No dead pedal for the automatic. It will definitely get a dead pedal. No armrest. That's what a lot of users have been complaining about. It will get that armrest. It will get a much better infotainment system. The same system that is there on the Scorpio N, on the XUV700, the Adrenox system, that will also go into the Thar. The off-road ability will be improved. There are some limitations like the radiator is a bit too low. It does get overheated when you are off-roading or when you're going dune bashing in peak summer. That will be sorted out. They'll have better cooling. So all those things will be improved upon. Plus Pratap Bose and his design team, they will have significant inputs into the design of the Thar. So the Thar, from what I hear from insiders, is going to look really different from the existing 3-door Thar. It is going to move a little bit away from the Jeep Wrangler inspired origins. So it's going to sort of establish its own identity. That is also a cool thing. And of course, in terms of pricing, it's not going to go up that much. Now, the delta between the Jimny and the 5-door Thar will be rather wide. The prices of the Jimny will be out on the 7th of June. So that's something to watch out for. I'm sure the Thar is going to be more expensive. The Jimny is going to undercut the Thar. It has to undercut the Thar. So the 5-door Thar is not going to compete with the Jimny on pricing. But the 5-door Thar will again open this segment up to a wider audience. Somebody who wants something cool, a cool 4x4, somebody who wants something cool, but somebody who also wants practicality. Our parents, for instance, they are going to struggle to get into back of a regular 3-door Thar. The 5-door Thar will be more accessible and more practical for them. And don't forget that the 5-door Wrangler has almost the same off-roading ability as the 3-door Wrangler. So the same will also apply to the 5-door Thar. So 5-door Thar, am I excited by it? Definitely. Are you excited by it? What do you want to see in the 5-door Thar? Let us know in the comments below, and we will talk about in the next edition of the News of the Week or a podcast which is coming up on the 5-door Thar. Now, moving on to the next spy picture that we have seen, and that is the interiors of the upcoming new Nexon. And what we can make out in that interior picture is that it has a screen similar to what was shown on the concept that was showcased at the Auto Expo. Now, that screen, I don't know what information it will show or whether that information is going to be useful stuff like turn-by-turn navigation. Will it have that? I don't know. I hope it does have that, because that will definitely make it more usable. So the Nexon is going to get that screen. And in fact, Martin Ularik, the head of design at Tata Motors, he did say that that steering wheel design with a screen integrated in it is going to be something that will be seen very soon on Tata Motors production vehicles. The Nexon could be the first recipient of that, and that will be a differentiator. You have now big screens running across the length of the dashboard, so all that is done. But a screen on the steering wheel, nobody does that. So that could be very unique on the Nexon. One question is there now, when you've got the steering wheel turned, how are you going to look at the turn-by-turn navigation? Because a right turn would probably be a 90 left or a 180 degree turn. So that's going to be a little difficult to wrap your head around. And I'm sure the UI UX designers at Tata Motors are cognizant of that limitation. But that apart, I think it's going to be a cool touch. You have to differentiate your products. Obviously, a lot of people are going to say that this is one screen too many. I probably will be one of them who will be complaining about having to look at audio tracks that are now displayed ulta. So how do you look at that audio track when your steering wheel is turned? So it's going to be a little weird, challenging in terms of what kind of information you're going to display on it. But it's interesting. It's different. Manufacturers have to try different things to stay ahead of the competition and to differentiate them from the competition. And the cool thing is that Tata Motors' designers and engineers are thinking out of the box. Will it work? I don't know. Do I like the thought process behind it? Definitely. And when is that facelifted Nexon going to come? Because we are seeing tons of them being tested on the road. Probably around Diwali at the earliest. So let's wait and watch. And now moving on to the actual news of the week. MG is making a black Gloster. They're calling it the Black Storm Edition, and everybody in the office has been calling it the Red Dark Edition because it is black, it has got red accents. So anyway, the coolest thing to me on this Black Storm Edition, as they're calling it, is that Gloster that is written huge letters across the tailgate, that is also blacked out. So it makes the Gloster look much better. I've always thought that MG, their vehicles have got far too many badges on them, and having one of them blacked out, so it's less in your face, it's a good thing. And of course, black cars, I personally like black cars. I think the Gloster has always been a very good design, butch, macho, all of that, and in black, it'll definitely look much better. So that MG Gloster, the Black Storm Edition, has been launched at 40.30 lakh rupees. Sticking with black cars, Mercedes-Maybach have unveiled their Dark Night Series. So this is only for the Maybach cars. So it's for the Maybach S-Class, the GLS, and the EQS. Now, it's not all black. It's got a silver bonnet. So it is two-tone, but again, looks really cool. And it has rose gold elements all over as small little highlights. So really sweetly done. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. Will it come to India? Well, there's nothing stopping Mercedes from bringing it to India. These cars, obviously, they will be frightfully expensive, but there's nothing stopping people from buying frightfully expensive cars in India. In fact, people are dropping eye-watering sums of money on very exclusive cars, and Mercedes knows it better than anybody else. So these Night Series editions of the Maybach cars and SUVs, I'm sure that will come to India. When? Who knows? But I'm sure that is going to come to India soon. And speaking about dropping eye-watering sums of money on cars, McLaren have launched their Artura sports car in India, priced at 5.1 crore rupees. Now, I haven't driven the Artura, so I can't say much about how it will handle and take on Indian roads. But what you do get is a 3-liter V6, you get 330 kmph top speed, 671 bhp, 720 Newton meters of torque, and for nerds out there, I can tell you that the rear spoiler and diffuser generate a total of 50 kgs of downforce. Sticking with sports cars, BMW have launched the Z4 Roadster. That's priced at 89.3 lakh rupees. It comes in as a CBU. We get the M40i that puts out 335 bhp of power and 500 Newton meters of torque. And sticking with BMW, we've reviewed the M2, the new M2, second generation M2. This has come to India, and unlike the previous M2, the M2 competition that was here in India, now you can get the M2 with a manual transmission. The prices are not yet out. It hasn't officially been launched yet, but we've driven it and we absolutely love it. Now, it should be priced at under a crore of rupees. This should be one of the most accessible sports cars in the country. They will charge a premium for the manual gearbox. I'm hearing around 1 lakh rupees more for the manual gearbox. What has the world come to? Now you're paying a premium for an automatic gearbox. Always we've been paying premiums for automatic transmissions over manuals, but now in sports cars, because it's such a rarity, you are actually paying a premium for the manual gearbox. So BMW will charge you that, but like we said in the past, there is an audience that wants a pure sports car, a sports car where you have a manual gearbox. It is such a rarity. The Porsche manual gearboxes, they are very exclusive, but people are willing to pay for it, and BMW will find that Indian customers, there will be a segment, and a significant segment in that small segment that there is, who will be willing to pay a lakh and a half, 2 lakh rupees more for the pleasure of shifting gears yourself. And I drove that car. The manual gearbox and the M2, it just plugs you in so much better into the car. You feel so involved in it, especially on every downshift. It auto blips. It just amplifies that entire experience of driving the M2. In terms of the styling of the M2, I think it's too much. There's a khichdi of too many things that is going on there. But in red, wow, it does look damn cool. When the BMW driver came and dropped it off at home in the night, I spent an hour just looking at it, taking pictures with my iPhone. It is little weird in some angles, but it definitely draws your eye in. It really makes you look at all those details and just pore over it, scratch your head over it, and then you sit inside, rev the engine, shift gears manually. I love it. That's job done for me. Atish, he's done a really cool video on it. His story is up on the Evo India website. We've got a lot of content on social media too, so go check that out and let us know what you think about a manual gearbox in this day and age. Should manufacturers start offering more sports cars, premium cars, luxury cars with automatic gearboxes? Well, maybe not luxury cars with automatic gearboxes, but sports cars with manual gearboxes, enthusiast cars with manual gearboxes. Let us know in the comments. We also have official images of the Harley X440. That's the motorcycle that Harley-Davidson is making right here in India. It has been designed, engineered, manufactured by Hero MotoCorp. This motorcycle will be made for India, but it will also be exported. It will be launched in July. This is going to take on the 350s from Royal Enfield, the upcoming Bajaj-Triumph motorcycle, all the other classic retro motorcycles, the Javas, the Yezdis, what else? The Highness from Honda. So the market is huge and the potential is also huge for Harley-Davidson and Hero MotoCorp. Remember, this engine has been engineered by Hero MotoCorp, and this engine will then go into the other Hero motorcycles. Hero is going to focus a lot on their premium motorcycle business, and this engine is going to drive that. How is the bike going to be to ride? Well, we don't know. Once we ride it, we'll be able to let you know. But in terms of the styling, I think it does have strong Harley-Davidson cues, especially the graphics on the tank. The tank does look muscular. You got the bar and shield on the headlamp, on the indicators. It does look like a Harley-Davidson. In some angles, maybe not, but overall, I think the styling has been well done. Ultimately, proof of the pudding is in the tasting, and when we ride the bike, we'll be able to give you a final verdict. But I hear from insiders that compared to its rivals, it will be faster, it'll have more torque. It also has a proper Harley sound. I can't wait to ride it. I can't wait to listen to it. Let us see what finally Hero delivers with their first Harley-Davidson motorcycle. It is exciting times. India's largest bike manufacturer is now making a motorcycle for Harley-Davidson, for India, and for the rest of the world. A huge statement for Indian R&D capabilities. We also have official images of the Range Rover Sport SV. Now, this is the most powerful Range Rover ever. V8 engine, 626 bhp, 750 Newton meters of torque, tons of carbon fiber. The hood is also now carbon fiber. It's designed to be more aerodynamic. It has optional 23-inch carbon fiber wheels, the first in the world. Carbon ceramic brakes. How is it going to drive? Obviously, it's going to drive like a mental beast. It's also going to sound incredible. Whether it's going to come to India, no idea. And we end with news of a new edition of the Nissan Magnite. It's called the Geza Edition. Geza. I don't know what that means also. All you need to know is that the prices start at 7.39 lakh rupees ex-showroom. It's available with a 1-litre naturally aspirated engine, 9-inch infotainment, JBL sound system, ambient lighting, beige upholstery, and an improved rear view camera with the shark fin antenna. And that's it for this week's News of the Week. Not that much to talk about, but are you excited by the 5-door Thar? Are you excited by the screen on the Nexon EV? What we think is a screen on the upcoming Nexon EV. Let us know in the comments, and we'll be back next week with the News of the Week.